would hit the snooze button maybe 10, 12 times. I mean, number one, the energy levels. I feel like I had the energy levels back when I was 25 years old. The physique, the muscles started to show up again.
Welcome, guys. This is a client interview with Gustavo. And Gustavo is a 38-year-old interventional radiologist from the US, which means that he performs minimally invasive surgeries using image-guided techniques such as X-ray, CT, and ultrasound scans. Gustavo majored in neuroscience and biochemistry, and today we're going to dive deeper into his story and the improvements he has experienced while working with me. Alright, so Gustavo, thank you for being here. Can you paint a picture and walk the viewers through your situation surrounding your health before you started to work with me?
My sleep wasn't great. I just didn't have the same energy that I used to or the same vigor that I used to. And I thought to myself, well, it can't just be my age because I'm still in my 30s. So something else must be going on. So I decided to do a deeper dive into it. I think I'm my own greatest enemy sometimes.
Hmm.
I would do it for some days, and then other days I would slip back into old habits. And what I've learned through this whole journey is you have to be consistent. And
Hmm.
that's I wasn't being consistent. That was the problem.
Okay. Can you paint a picture, like walk the viewers through what we did to make sure that you stayed consistent and to make sure that you were able to keep those healthy habits in place?
What you helped provide was sort of a consistent schedule, accountability, and keeping track of, what you intake, how much you exercise, and then having that actually on a screen sort of forces you to look at where you stand, where you started, and where you're going. What you helped me do was provide a structure for me to then achieve my goals.
Okay, got it. And what were your initial goals when you started with me?
Initial goals were initially to lose a certain amount of weight,
Hmm.
and that's what I was mainly focused on.
Hmm.
But then as we worked together, I realized it's the weight isn't necessarily indicative of kind of where you are with your health journey, because as you're not only losing fat, but you're building muscle during your workouts,
Hmm.
the weight's going to fluctuate and it's going to go up and down, up and down. So when I worked with you, I was getting actually a little discouraged, seeing that weight number not go down the way I wanted to. But then when you looked at yourself in the mirror, you would see the changes, and so that's really where I could start seeing the difference, and that's when I let that go.
Yeah, I remember you saying that you felt a bit frustrated that the scale didn't reflect your progress, but your pants started to feel looser and your clothes started to be wider. So you did see the difference in the mirror and also when you fit into your clothes, but not necessarily on the scale.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And I was so focused on the number that I
Mhm.
was sort of ignoring the other signs that I'm improving. Like you said, the clothing wasn't quite fitting as it used to.
Mhm. So what were some of those noticeable changes that you've seen and felt throughout basically our uh, period of working together?
I mean, number one, the energy levels. I feel like I had the energy levels back when I was 25 years old. It sort of came back to me. And then the skin, the physical appearance also seemed to be clearing up as well too.
Mhm.
Um, the physique, the muscles started to show up again. Um, I feel like I had more stamina, more endurance during my workouts. Back to I used to do like 10 years ago. So
Mhm.
those were the big changes that I noticed. I'm very happy
Mhm.
with those changes too.
And how do those changes, the higher energy levels, the better physique, the better skin, like how did that change your day-to-day life?
That's actually a very good question. So for me, it improved sort of my confidence levels. Number one,
Mhm.
I felt happy with myself and how I looked. Gave me more energy, so I became more productive.
Mhm.
And then, through all of this, I've decided, let me just pursue my goals and, dreams I used to have, when I was younger. I decided, let me just try and pursue them myself.
We stopped working together end of December. So we started in April, worked all the way through December. We're now in March.
Hmm.
Were you able, within those 3 months of basically not working together, to still sustain those healthy habits, the high energy, the sleep quality, and the confidence, basically since we stopped?
So yes, in terms of the healthy habits and the consistency, yes. Did I let myself go a little bit more? I would have to admit, yes. It was during the holidays, Christmas time, so
Yeah.
I had a little bit more to eat, a little bit more to drink than normal.
Hmm.
But once that ended, I kind of got back into my routine. And normally, whenever periods like that happened in my life, where I would go through maybe like a few weeks of holiday or vacation, it would take me a while to get back into eating better because I would still have the desire to eat the
Hmm.
foods that I like to eat. But this time around, since I had been doing it for so long and I enjoyed the benefits and I could see the improvements, I decided let's get right back on the train and keep up with the habits. So I can say that it's been super helpful in that way.
Let's zoom back in a bit on how you felt before. I remember you saying, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember you saying that before we started, it used to take like an hour to an hour and a half to feel energized after waking up. Would you say that's accurate?
That's accurate. Yeah.
What about
I,
now?
I would hit the snooze button maybe 10, 12 times. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And I just didn't want to get out of bed just because of my energy levels. But that's changed. Now within like the first 5 or 10 minutes, I'm up and ready to go. So it's been a big change.
Right, so you basically got an hour more every day.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. And that's not only help with when I get to work, I can actually like from the get-go be productive before I have to take a half hour, 45 minutes to for my brain to warm up,
Mm.
and that's not the case these days.
And what about your sleep? One of the main things that we did focus on. I remember you saying that you struggled with falling asleep beforehand and also waking up throughout the night. Is that accurate as well?
The big problem I was having was waking up at night.
Yeah.
So at 2 or 3 in the morning, for some odd reason, I would be waking up.
Hmm.
And that was very bothersome for me because it would take me time to get back to sleep. And I think you and I talked about, well, we had to figure out number one, what's going on with, why are you waking up that early?
Hmm.
And then how can we fix that?
Yeah.
And I think you and I went into adrenal health, and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
was one of the issues that I was having to deal with and tackle. Since we've worked on that, and also a big change has been the lighting in the room, completely pitch black dark now.
Hmm.
Putting my phone further away from the bed, which I think makes a difference as well too.
Yeah.
And then just sort of having that consistency with the sleep, things have improved quite a bit since then.
So do you currently still wake up in the middle of the night or not anymore?
No, hardly ever. I would say it used to be 3 to 4 nights a week. I would get up at 3 in the morning, but now it's maybe once a week at best. And I have weeks where I don't get up at all during the middle of the night.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that the biggest thing for you was light environment before going to bed, adrenal health, and also consistency with the sleep and waking times. Those are
Yeah, yeah. That was the big one. It was the light at night.
yeah.
Before we even worked together, I would, be up watching TV or watching videos online at like 11 o'clock at night, lights are on. And I think that was one of the first things you said, we gotta lower your light exposure. And so, but it took time because that was a habit of mine for years.
As a final question, like what would you say to anyone sitting on the fence on joining the Vitality Project?
Well, I will say this, the Vitality Project did a really good job, working with me. Um, if you are looking to, make a big change in your life and not only kind of regain your energy levels and regain your health, but you need that one extra push and you need someone to help guide you along the way, this is one of the best protocols I think you can do.